What if everything you've been told about retirement income is keeping you broke? We're about to blow up the biggest myth that's haunted retirees since 1985. Never touch your principal. Here's the brutal truth. Millions of Americans are sitting on massive portfolios, clipping 2% dividend yields, living like paupers because some advisor in 1972 said principal is sacred. Meanwhile, Ken Fisher and the smartest money managers on Wall Street have been screaming the opposite for decades. Your principal isn't a museum piece, it's a tool. The disconnect is staggering. Retirees with seven-figure portfolios are eating ramen and skipping vacations because they've been conditioned to believe that selling assets equals failure, while the wealthy have quietly been manufacturing their own income streams for generations. So why does this myth persist? Because we've confused preservation with paralysis. Think of your portfolio like a fruit tree. You're not supposed to let the apples rot on the branches. You're supposed to harvest them, and yes, occasionally prune the tree itself to keep it healthy. The traditional model told you to buy dividend stocks, live off the yield, and never sell. But here's what they didn't tell you. Dividends are just forced principal withdrawals with worse tax treatment and zero flexibility. You're letting companies decide when and how much income you get. Fisher's approach flips this entirely. Build a 12 to 24 month cash cushion, invest the rest primarily in equities for growth, and create your own homemade dividend by selling small portions of your portfolio on your schedule, not IBM's. This isn't radical, it's rational. Capital gains rates are lower than ordinary income rates. You control the timing and amount, and you're not chasing yield into risky dividend traps or missing growth opportunities just because a stock pays 4%. The psychology here is massive. We've been taught that a shrinking account balance means we're losing, but a disciplined drawdown where you're selling appreciated assets at favorable tax rates while maintaining portfolio growth is actually winning. History backs this up relentlessly. From 1926 through 2023, US equities returned roughly 10% annually, despite crashes, wars, inflation, spikes, and everything else. Markets reward ownership over time, not paralysis. But let's be honest about the volatility. Markets can drop 30, 40, even 50% in a bad year, which is exactly why that cash cushion isn't optional. It's the shock absorber that prevents you from selling stocks at the bottom when CNN is screaming apocalypse. Here's where people get tripped up. They think this strategy requires perfect timing or some genius ability to predict markets. It doesn't. You're simply rebalancing annually, selling when appropriate, and adjusting withdrawals if your portfolio takes a major hit or if spending needs change. The misconceptions run deep. What if I run out? Becomes a non-issue when you understand that a $1 million portfolio, withdrawing $60,000 annually at even a modest real return, has decades of runway, especially compared to the alternative of living off $20,000 in dividends and being miserable. Real talk. This works best when you have enough assets that growth can outpace or match withdrawals over time. If your portfolio is tiny relative to spending, you've got a math problem, not a strategy problem in that case. Consider part-time work, annuities for baseline expenses, or a hybrid approach. The lesson here is ruthlessly simple. Stop treating your principal like it's radioactive. Start treating it like the income-generating machine it actually is, with proper sizing, disciplined withdrawals, and enough cash cushion to weather the storms. Process beats prediction every single time. You don't need to outsmart the market. You need a rational plan, consistent execution, and the emotional discipline to stick with it when markets inevitably throw tantrums. Whether markets soar or crash next year, I'm completely comfortable because the framework is sound. Liquid cushion protects downside, equities drive growth, planned withdrawals fund life, and taxes stay manageable. Conviction doesn't matter, the system does. If you're ready to apply these principles beyond just portfolios, whether in real estate investing, home contracting work, or finding the right lenders to leverage your assets, check out our links in the description below.